Hi, one and all, to the very first Middle Eastern and North African Art and Culture Club show. Thank you all for being here. We're very glad to have you. We are one of the smaller cultural organizations on campus, so this is our first go, and we're going to hope to share a little bit with you about a culture that you may be a little less familiar with. So, thank you for coming.
Stories are a cornerstone in Arabic culture, so that we hope we can teach you a little bit about Arabic culture through songs and skits. So today we have students doing that.
So first up, we're going to have a song called Nassam Aleyna. It's by a Lebanese artist called Fairuz, and it's about the longing that she feels for her homeland and the love she has for her country. So, please enjoy.
Give it up for Alina.
That was our first song. We have a skit coming up called the Cobbler Astrologer, and it is based on the long-running Arabic tradition of telling a story and communicating a moral through it while still entertaining. In between, I have a little trivia section for you. So, can anyone tell me what country this flag is for? Who said that? It's not Canada. It's not Canada. It is a country in the Arabic-speaking world. Who? First one. Lebanon? Yes. I saw that. That was the hand I saw first. So I have candy. If that person wants to come up, I have candy. And I have one slightly harder question. Obviously there's a tree on it, but does anyone know what kind of tree it is?
Yeah, I know.
It is not a pine. No. It is a cedar tree. So an interesting fact is that Lebanese cedar has been one of the most widely sought building materials in the Mediterranean ever since ancient Egyptian times. So we have logs of that, and it kind of shows how interconnected that region is. So yeah, that's it. Next up we have our skit, so please enjoy.
If we got insurance on the donkey, no one will question the monkey. It's genius.
Love you, bud. The scheming is senseless. I'm perfectly happy as a humble cobbler with a beautiful wife. With you, I need nothing else.
All is well and good for you, humble cobbler, but I have bigger dreams, Saki, of gold and perfumes, of Helwa and Qabbani.
And you deserve every ounce of you. I'll have to go to work. I'll see you this evening. So long.
So then. Cease your foolishness unless you're willing to prove your love to me.
And how do you suggest I do that, my dear?
Quit being a cobbler. It's such a low and vile trade, touching feet all day. You should become an astrologer instead.
Astrologer? Astrologer? I am the most uneducatedest man I know, and you expect me to serve on the Shah's Court of Advisors.
I do not care for your inexperience. Become an astrologer or be a divorced man.
Never will I be an astrologer. Wallahi, you are insane. I am an astrologer. I know of the sun, the moon, and the stars. The zodiac is my bread and the almanac is my meat. I know everything that will happen.
All be silent. The Shah has business with this pretender.
Chests of my finest treasure have been stolen. I expect your cause of aid to return it to me. If you can, one of those chests are yours. If you cannot, your death is certain, like that of my great astrologer.
Wait. No. No!
sire.
You are exceedingly wise. I will give you 12 nights. Don't forget what happened today.
Oh, welcome home, my dear astrologer. I have made you baklava, your favorite sweet, to celebrate your audience with a Shah and our place of respect.
How excellent, wife. Now I'll be able to enjoy a piece every night until they cut my head off.
The word is the Shah has a new astrologist investigating the disappearance of his treasure. He has discovered there are 12 of us by some clever trick. Go to his home and listen.
I might as well accept my fate. Hereby be announced, this is the first of 12.
Hear this. I was hiding beneath Zaki's balcony when, by some divine inspiration, he said, I was there.
That man really is a master of his craft.
We must return the treasure to save our lives.
Nonsense. Tomorrow night, the best of us shall accompany you in order to find the source of your rambling.
Here we go, counting the nights once again. 3 of 12 will be eaten tonight. Guilty men, thou art right. My gaze goes over all underneath the sun and moon. Your repentance hath saved you. But if you don't return your stolen treasures, ye shall be doomed. Behold your treasure, O Shah.
That's crazy. Doesn't look like me. It's like I knew.
So that was our first skit. Up next, we have a song, "El-hawa," which means mine and yours. And it, while sounding very romantic, is actually about a lot of radical ideals like Arab socialism and revolutionary feelings. So a lot of its inspiration is taken from an event called the Arab Spring. So does anyone know what that is? It happened in 2011. You can shout it out if you have any idea. Yeah, uprising is a good one. So basically, just to keep it brief, it was a series of uprisings, revolutions, coup d'etats, that kind of thing, in a series of Arabic countries that overthrew some more dictatorial regimes and placed more democratic ideals in these countries. So it just goes to show the change and the move towards freedom that is occurring in this region, which naturally does have a lot of conflict. So please enjoy the song and keep in mind some of the historical context. Thank you.
It could be worse. I could have did light skin ridge stuff like that. Like pure
Up next, we have a skit that is based on a short story by acclaimed Egyptian novelist Naguib Mahfouz. He was the first Arab person to receive a Nobel Prize for Literature. And as such, he's very important to the region in its production of the arts. He was known for being a little bit radical in his beliefs and challenging the notions of standard Arab society and traditional Western society. So please enjoy. But before that, we have a little trivia portion. One more time. So, as some of you may have noticed, this show is called Inshallah, which is a common saying in the Arab world. Has anyone heard it before? Does anyone know of that phrase? What? Yeah? What? Do you know what it means? But thanks, I mean, that's good. So essentially, it's a saying that's used quite frequently in a lot of those countries, and it means if God is willing, or God willing, So if you say that something is going to happen, inshallah, you are saying that it will happen if God is willing, Sometimes it just means no, If you ask your mom for something, and she says inshallah, it can just mean, God willing, but you're not going to get it. So it's very frequently used for lots of different purposes, but we titled this show Inshallah because the only way that it was going to happen with very limited resources was if God is willing. So we're very happy to be here, and thank you all for your support at this ground floor. Thank you.
All my clothes were new that day. The black shoes, the green school uniform, and the red cover. This was no feast day, however. This was the day that I would be cast into school for the first time. My mother stood by the window, and I would turn to her from time to time, looking for help. We walked down the street lined with gardens, crops, prickly pears, henna trees, and a few date palms.
Where are you? I'm not punishing you. School is not a punishment. Don't you want to be like your father and brother?
I wasn't convinced. What could be the benefit of locking me away to some fortress far from the comfort of home?
Go on and join her. Put a smile on your face and set an example for others. Today, the day begins. Go on.
I did not know, or particularly like, any one of them, but glances of curiosity were soon directed toward me. Some of the children began to cry, fearing the new and strange situation they found themselves in, and the great high wall of the garden.
This is your new home. Here there's everything that is beneficial to wisdom and faith. Dry your tears and live life joyfully.
We had to submit to the facts. Living beings were drawn to other living beings, and from the moment my heart made friends with those who were to be my friends, fell in love with those who I was to be in love with. It now seemed my fear had no basis. I had never imagined school would have this rich variety. We played all sorts of games, we chanted our first song, we learned to read and think, we ate delicious food, took a little nap, and woke up to go on with friendship and love, play and learn. As our path showed itself, however, we found it was not as unclouded as we had thought. A friend was just as likely to find as a rival, and while the headmaster would sometimes smile, she would also scowl and scold. Even more often, she would resort to physical punishment. Opportunities for joy and success presented themselves amid the worries, and those who were able and wise seized them.
Not only Disney, but like freaky as
Lord,
funny way.
where is my street? Lined with gardens. Where has it disappeared to? When did all of this vehicle, when did all these vehicles invade those tall buildings and horrors of humanity? How could all of this have happened in just half a day? From morning to sunset. Where has it disappeared to? I must get home to ask my father. But where is my home? I see only crowds and an endless machine. It was just this morning. Just this morning.
Okay, so that past song is called El-hawa, which is, the sweet one. And it's about mornings in the Middle East. That song itself is probably older, we don't know exactly, but it's at least over 100 years old. So it's a very old song about morning and about waking up. So it is a very important part of the day, especially in the Arab world. Coming up after this is a poem recital from the Syrian poet Nizar Qabbani. He's known today as the national poet of Syria, but he was also a diplomat. He worked to facilitate peace in the Middle East throughout his whole life. From Syria, he was an ambassador to Tunisia and later Algiers. So while we know, and unfortunately in light of recent events, we know that the Middle East has been an unstable place, politically speaking, at times. It is important to recognize that there are people still there who are working towards peace, towards progress, and towards a brighter future for themselves in coexistence. So, thank you.
خضراء جئتك عاشقا وعلى جبيني وردة وكتاب.
Free Tunisia, I have come to you as a lover, on my brow a rose and a book.
إني لدمشق الذي احترف فيها الماء فاخضوضرت بأغنائه الأعشاب.
For I am the Damascene whose profession is passion. The
قمر
scene turns the herbs green.
قمر دمشق يسافر بالبلابل والسنابل والقطقاب.
A Damascene moon travels through my blood, nightingales and rain at domes.
والماء يبدأ من دمشق فحيثما اخضوضرت الأزرقة.
From Damascus, jasmine begins its witness, and fragrances perfume themselves with her scent.
وشعر العصفور يبدأ من دمشق فالشاعر يفرد أجنحته.
From Damascus, water begins, for wherever you lean your head, a stream flows.
والحب يبدأ من دمشق فأهلنا عبدوا الجمال والذبيب والذبوب.
And poetry is a sparrow spreading its wings over Sham, and a poet is a voyager.
والخيل تبدأ من دمشق مسراها تشد للفتح لكبير الركاب.
From Damascus, love begins, for our ancestors worshipped beauty. They dissolved it and they melted it away.
والدهر يبدأ من دمشق وعندما تبدأ اللغات تحفظ الأنساب.
From Damascus, horses begin their journey.
ودمشق تعطي للعروبة شكلها وبأرضها تتشكل الأحقاب.
And the stirrups are tightened for the great conquest. From Damascus, eternity begins.
Thank you.
And that's it. Thank you so much all for coming. We really appreciate your support. We'll be back next year for bigger and better. We're starting out, and thank you very much. So to give all of our credit where it's due, and make sure that all of our incredible performers are thanked. Our singers, Anina, Lena, Yaku, Melody, and Victoria, please. Our musicians, Nick, Luca, Johnny, and Elliot. Our actors, Ami, Messiah, Wesley, Eden, Abigail, Nate, Alejandra, Victoria, Gia, Light, and Robert. Of course, our lighting and crew, Yassine, Arslan, and Mesfit. Back there. And our finale dancing by KJ Studios.